Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the BFA class review series. My name is Mr. Couchy, and I will lay out for you some of the changes affecting Outlaw Rogues heading into Battle for Azeroth. Although we are close to the end of beta and into the pre-patch, some of this is still subject to change, so don't take everything said here as law. Outlaw and its predecessor Combat have been renowned as the fast-paced rogue spec with a particular affinity for AoE damage. Legion saw many players move away from this spec as it became bogged down with RNG-heavy elements early in the expansion. Never forget that they were unkillable with all their reduction utility and cheap death, and I'm glad to report that this isn't going anywhere. Battle for Azeroth promises a slightly slower paced but more engaging version of the spec. Bleeds and poisons from Hunter, Rogue, and Warrior were the only overtime effects not affected by haste, which is being changed in Battle for Azeroth. Feint has been nerfed a little bit, reducing damage taken from AoE attacks by 40% for 5 seconds, and the cooldown has been changed from none to 15. Bribe has been removed, and Between the Eyes' cooldown has been changed from 20 to 30 seconds, and its cost changed from 35 to 25 energy. Blade Fury causes your single target attacks to also strike all nearby enemies for 45% of normal damage for 12 seconds. The cooldown has been changed to 25 seconds and no longer lasts until cancelled. It now has 2 charges and had its cost changed from 10 to 15 energy. Blind's cooldown has been changed from 2 minutes to 1 minute. Gouge must be used in front of your target and had its cooldown changed from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Your Mastery, Main Gauche, had its Mastery increased to 30% base. Restless Blades, a finishing move, now reduces the cooldown of your main abilities by a second per combo point spent. Run Through has been renamed Dispatch. And Sinister Strike, renamed from Saber Slash, where you viciously strike for physical damage. It has a 35% chance to hit in additional time, making your next pistol shot half cost and do double damage. It awards 1 combo point and had its cost change from 50 to 45 energy. Combat Potency increases your energy regen rate by 35%, and your offhand attacks have a 75% chance to generate 10 energy. There have been a few changes to your talents. Anticipation, Cannonball Barrage, Death from Above, Parlay, and Grappling Hook have all been removed. There are a few exceptions here. Death from Above is now an honor talent for all specs, and Grappling Hook is now baseline. Dancing Steel increases the duration of Blade Fury by 3 seconds, and its damage by 5%. Blade Rush, you charge to your target with your blades out, dealing physical damage to the target, and a percent to all other nearby enemies. While Blade Fury is active, damage to non-primary targets is increased by 100%, and it generates 25 energy over 5 seconds. Blinding Powder reduces the cooldown of Blind by 30 seconds and increases its range by 15 yards. Loaded Dice, activated Adrenaline Rush, causes your next Roll the Bones to grant at least 2 matches. And Retractable Hook reduces the cooldown of Grappling Hook by 30 seconds. A couple of the other talents have been changed. Ghostly Strike's cooldown has been changed from none to 35 seconds. Weapon Master is Sinister Strike has a 10% increased chance to strike an additional time. Alacrity is your finishing moves have a percent chance per combo point to grant 2% haste for 20 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Killing Spree, you teleport to an enemy within 10 yards, attacking with both weapons out for physical damage over 2 seconds. And while Blade Fury is active, each Killing Spree attack also hits all nearby enemies for 100% damage. Slice and Dice, a finishing move that consumes combo points to increase attack speed by 60% and energy regenerate by 15. That lasts longer per combo point spent. And finally, Quick Draw, half-cost uses of Pistol Shot granted by Sinister Strike now generate 1 additional combo point and deal 50% additional damage. With the loss of artifact weapons, Outlaw is losing its most impactful cooldown, Curse of the Dreadblades. Losing Curse means we have a less bursty playstyle with no cooldown that significantly changes the way we generate our combo points. The loss of most of our other traits will not really be felt as we have received changes within the class to compensate for their removal. I always really liked Outlaw, so I'm happy it's left fairly intact. How did you think Outlaw felt in Legion, and how do you think it will perform in BFA? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around, like and subscribe, and in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.